It's always a good time watching Tar Heels go pro. Hello everyone, my name is Nathan. I am one half of your Heel Brothers. And today, the NFL draft is completely over with. It is completely finished, and we are just a couple of days removed from the end of the draft. And after looking at this year's draft, I do believe that there is a couple of things that the North Carolina football program can take from the draft, and some things that we should be thinking about going into this upcoming season. But before we get into that today, if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, be sure and hit that like button on this video right here. Also hit that subscribe button and join the community of Tar Heel fans that we have created over here, where we have a good time and we just absolutely enjoy talking with you guys, talking Tar Heels, talking everything North Carolina, from football to basketball to baseball. Doesn't matter. We love talking to you guys. So if you're enjoying what you're seeing, be sure to hit that subscribe button. The 2024 NFL draft took place in Detroit, Michigan just a few days ago, this past weekend, and a number of Tar Heels have made their way into the NFL. Notably, and I want to go through all of the ones who made it there, whether being drafted and signed as undrafted free agents. We have number one, Drake May, going third overall to the New England Patriots. Man, this is a big one. We absolutely love him, and I'm really looking forward to him. Unfortunately, I can't stand that he went to the Patriots. Now, I know there's going to be some Patriots fans out there. I'm sorry if I make you guys a little upset by saying that. I'm not a Patriots fan by any stretch of the imagination. I guess I'm going to have to root for him now, but, hopefully he does well over there. Next up, you had Cedric Gray going in the fourth round at pick 106 to the Tennessee Titans. The Titans was a team that was absolutely looking for some linebackers and needed some guys who could potentially come in and be bona fide starters coming in. So Cedric Gray is going to get his shot. I personally believe he will do great over there in Tennessee, and I'm looking forward to seeing him out there in kind of Carolina blue and navy. He's not really changing colors too much, so it'd be good to see him back out there in the Tar Heel blue up there in Tennessee. Tez Walker also got picked just a couple of places behind Cedric Gray in the fourth round at pick 114 to the Baltimore Ravens. And I'm not going to lie, that receiving core over there now, with adding Tez, with Zay Flowers, and the guy they have, Bateman, over there, and one other I can't think of off the top of my head. The Ravens wide receiver core looks pretty dang good, so Lamar Jackson is going to have some targets to throw to, and I am absolutely looking forward to Tez Walker being able to go in there and battling to have a shot, and maybe even potentially starting this year, or being a reserve, a backup, or your fourth receiver off the bench there. So looking forward to seeing what he does over there. I think he'll have a great impact on the Baltimore Ravens. Another team I really don't like too much, but really happy for him, and here we go. After that, we have a few different undrafted free agents. I'm just going to quickly kind of run these things down. Amari Gainer was picked up by the Las Vegas Raiders. I saw he was having a couple of different interviews during that interview process with them, so I kind of figured that he was probably going to go to the Raiders. If they didn't draft him, they definitely did sign him there. Also joining him would be Tamari Fox, who also got picked up by the Raiders. Miles Murphy going to my NFC West division rival as a Rams fan, going to the Cardinals over there. British Brooks being picked up by the Texans, which is, by the way, can we just say, absolutely fitting with the hats that he always wears. Him going up there to Texas, the Texans looking really good. Hopefully he gets a chance to prove himself and maybe even gain a roster spot. I would absolutely love that for British Brooks if he was able to make that happen. But also Spencer Rowland going back home to Minnesota with the Minnesota Vikings. So seeing all the guys that went into the NFL draft this year and got signed as undrafted free agents, there are a couple of things that I believe that the North Carolina football program back in Chapel Hill, ran by Mack Brown, can definitely take away from this draft. First and foremost, being that this program is healthy. This is a team and a organization that is consistently putting players in the NFL. I saw a stat that came out after Tez Walker was drafted that no starter under Lonnie Galloway in the wide receiver room has not been taken in the draft, which I think is absolutely amazing. It says something about Lonnie Galloway as well, a guy who I think could be a potential head coach in the future. That's just me. We'll get to that a whole nother time, different story, different day. Guys are being put into the draft consistently at a consistent basis. North Carolina has done a great job of putting in some premier talent over the years. Number one being Sam Howell just a few years ago, a guy that honestly could have been a little bit higher than the fifth round, I personally believe, but since the team had a bad year, he didn't really make it that far. But producing a guy in Drake May who comes in, a guy that North Carolina and Mack Brown was able to flip from going to Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide not only once, but also keeping him after his breakout year, his redshirt freshman year in 2022, and keeping him from leaving the program. Obviously, having family ties helps, but when money comes calling, and Alabama was one of those schools that tried to get him. And don't you think Nick Saban would have loved to have had Drake May this past year? Probably would have been maybe even a different outcome on your national championship picture, considering how close that game was between Alabama and Michigan in the semifinals. I'm just saying that now. But being able to keep him here, being able to keep a guy like Omarion Hampton, who's going to be probably a pretty high draft choice this coming season after next college football season, keeping them there says a lot about this program and what they're doing. They're also finding guys at 3-star level. I mean, Cedric Gray was not a very highly touted linebacker, let's just call it. He's from Aldrich Hill, which is actually just like 25 minutes up the road here, which I think is pretty cool. Being able to bring these guys in and develop some of these stars that they've had go in to the league, I think has been amazing, and I think they've done a really good job of that. And now it's hopefully that they've got guys that's going to be able to go in and have a long NFL career in the future. So I think when Mack Brown goes up onto the podium and he says that this program is healthy and it has great talent coming through, I believe that it does. I believe he's telling the truth here. Next year, we're probably going to have the same conversation about guys like Omarion Hampton, Kamen Rucker, maybe even Elijah Huzzy to a different degree, and maybe somebody else that may step out and go into the NFL. Maybe one of your receivers goes, who knows? But I believe as Carolina fans, especially for myself, it is good to see that North Carolina is being very well represented in places like the NFL draft and also the NFL each and every year. That's all good and gravy. But that now leads me to my second point, the final point that I have here, that it's time to produce. We're now going into the 6th year of Mack Brown. We've had 5 years of Mack Brown. Things started looking up really good. Carolina went from, as Mack Brown loves to mention multiple times, that we went from a few wins in 2 seasons all the way up to 7, 8 wins a season, which is great. But now it's time to take this NFL talent, especially a guy like you had Drake May last year, not being able to push into the double-digit market. Because personally, in my opinion, now we could see it change and be different now that he's in the NFL. But I felt like Drake May and even Marcus Spears on ESPN's First Take mentioned this, that Drake May was looked at as the forgotten man. And I believe a lot of that has to do with the team production over the 2 years that he played for us. 9 wins, getting to 9-1, and fizzling out, ending up 9-5. Last year going 6-0 to start the season, and then ending up 8-5. Not good. That's not good at all. That's not acceptable as a team, and it also hurts your guys. In what I think Drake May could have potentially went number 2 overall. And there was even conversation, not saying he would have won over Caleb Williams, but there was definitely conversation about him being the number 1 guy in this draft class. So here we are again. North Carolina, in my opinion, this year has some great young talent, some guys that are going to produce very well, and guys that the NFL is going to want. I believe since North Carolina has done so good at bringing in that talent and developing the stars, I'm going to clarify stars because we have a conversation about depth. Again, another conversation for another day. It is time to put those stars in prime positions, in prime time spots. Go out there, you win the games you're supposed to win. You go out there and you face teams like Clemson, like Florida State. You're in the ACC championship picture every single year. It's time to get to that point with this program, because you can't keep consistently producing talent that you are, which is great talent, and not having the results on the field. So it's time now for North Carolina to put everything that they have been building to use and actually start producing well for the college and showing off the college and bringing more of that talent into North Carolina. And this year, in my opinion, is a make or break year. That's just me. We're going to have conversations about this going on all throughout the summer leading into the fall. But this is the first in which I look at the talent that went into the NFL draft this year, guys that's been there for a while, and you say, man, if only we could have. And I'm tired of that conversation every year. I'm tired of seeing this talent go in there into the NFL draft, being picked high, highly regarded, great talent, all-time talent. I mean, think about it. 2 back-to-back quarterbacks are probably the best quarterbacks that's ever graced the College of North Carolina. Who knows when you're going to see guys like that again? One of the best linebackers to ever touch North Carolina. An amazing star wide receiver that you just saw go into the NFL draft. Unfortunately, he got cheated out of half of his year there, but he was able to put his talent on display and show the world that he is an all-star type talent. And we can back this up to Sam Howell. We can go to Javonte Williams and Michael Carter. Even a guy like a Chaz Surratt who went from quarterback to linebacker and is still playing linebacker. As a matter of fact, for the New York Jets right now, playing well, really well as a linebacker in the NFL. So it's time to start putting some of this talent to use. It's time to start showing off what these guys can do in college and have North Carolina, not only the talent, but also have North Carolina in the primetime spotlight and use this talent that you're getting and use it for good, because it feels like everybody else is getting the most out of the talent outside of us. And that's a problem in my opinion. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you agree with me? What are your thoughts about what you may have learned for North Carolina's football program per the NFL draft this year? Tell me what you guys think about the talent that's going in from North Carolina to the NFL. How do you think you're going to do? If they're going to some of your favorite teams, let us know how you feel about them. And maybe even let us know how the general fan base of those teams feel about the players that are coming in. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. And as always, go Heels.
You don't want none.